the venue for tonight's EFL Championship match between Stoke City and Ipswich Town. At the moment, a light show going on at this stadium, perched on top of a hill. And Stoke, who actually hadn't lost here to Ipswich in 9 previous matches at this stadium. Stoke unbeaten in their last 9 matches against Ipswich at Stoke. Ipswich last won at Stoke back in March of 1997, and the last match here between these two teams was on New Year's Day, January 2024, when it ended 0-0. And Ipswich haven't scored at Stoke in their last 4 visits. However, they come here having scored 61 goals this season in their 35 championship matches. An excellent goal-scoring record for Tractor Boys, who have 6 wins away from home in the championship this season. Stoke in their 8th consecutive season in the championship, but they haven't finished above 14th in the previous 7 seasons since they were relegated from the Premier League back in 2018. So the Stoke faithful very much looking forward to next season. A few more points should see them safe from any possible threat of relegation. But Stoke, whose season has been badly affected by injuries and illness, they have a dozen senior players unavailable this evening. As for Ipswich, the man who scored the goal that beat Stoke earlier this season, Jadon Philogene, is out injured. He scored the only goal at Portman Road back in December, and it came after just 2 minutes to give Ipswich the points. Thomas Kirk is referee there, taking charge of Stoke for the 3rd time this season. Can Ipswich Town make up ground on the 3 teams above them in the championship table? It really is going to be a race right to the final day to see who will claim the automatic places. Not the biggest of crowds in tonight. Plenty of gaps around the Bet365 stadium. Ipswich 2 points behind Millwall, who are in 3rd, 5 points behind Middlesbrough in 2nd, and 10 points behind the leaders, Coventry City, who they did beat home and away back in December when Kieran McKenna there was manager of the month in the championship. Well, Stoke have 12 senior players unavailable, and Ben Wilmot, their captain, is out tonight because of injury. So Ashley Phillips takes over the armband, and this side shows 5 changes from the team that began Saturday's 2-0 defeat away at Swansea, where Sorba Thomas was sent off in the first half. Maxime Talavianov and Junior Chamadou come into defence. Tomas Rigo into midfield, as does Mayan Manov, while the Dutch striker Milan Schmidt started up front. And Stoke have 5 academy players among their substitutes, such as the severity of their injury list. 2 changes for Ipswich from the side that started Saturday's 1-1 draw at home to Leicester. Jack Taylor replacing Dan Neil in midfield, and Jack Clark, who has 12 goals this season, comes in on the left. And that means Anis Mehmeti moves to a more central role behind striker Ivan Asson. Sindre Volte-Egeli, who scored the equaliser against Leicester at the weekend, is again among the substitutes, as is 8-goal striker George Hurst. Chilean international Marcelino Núñez isn't involved at all. He's out because of a hamstring injury. There is Tommy Simpkin, the England under-20 international, who has made the goalkeeper's position at Stoke his own since being recalled from loan at Leyton Orient. Ashley Phillips taking over the captaincy tonight for Stoke City. Stoke, who scored an average of 1.2 goals in their first 26 games in the Championship this season, but 0.7 goals in their last 10. And there is Jack Clark, who's played in every match this season for Ipswich. 12 goals for him this season. Ipswich very much different on the road than at home. They have taken the most points at home of any team in the Championship, but are only 10th in the away points table. So McKenna then looking to take Ipswich back to the Premier League at the first time of asking. Mark Robertson's appointed in January of last year and led Stoke to safety on the final day of last season. So will be Ipswich to get us underway in the blue shirts and white shorts. Stoke in their familiar red and white stripes. Stoke with just one win in the last 10 Championship matches, 4 draws and 5 defeats. 10 points off the playoff places at the start of the day. Ipswich very much in the playoff positions, but hoping to make ground on second place Middlesbrough. Though it's far from mathematically certain, I think most people accept that Coventry will be filling one of the 2 automatic promotion places. It's just a question of can anybody overtake Middlesbrough. Ron Robbins, who was Stoke's 3rd manager of last season, laid many of the foundations at Coventry for Frank Lampard to build upon in his 7.5 years at the CBS Arena. Joined there by Eric Boca, who's making his 50th Championship appearance this evening, all of them for Stoke City. Here's Kipre, the Ivory Coast international on loan from Reims in France. O'Shea, Davis, chase on here, and Asson isn't quite going to get on the end of it. Cleared away to safety by Maxim Telefierov, the Ukrainian international. One of 5 changes in the Stoke lineup tonight. Kipre, O'Shea. Not too much on that. O'Shea, the only Ipswich player to start every match in the Championship this season. Fourth to watch on tonight from a lofty position, high in the main stand. Stoke without Sorba Thomas for the first time this season. He started every game, 9 goals for him. A red card, second yellow card rather, at the weekend, which led to a red card, which Mark Robbins described as extremely harsh. Little touchdown from Schmidt. Here's Kipre. Davis. Leo Phillips. Oh, he missed it completely there, Tommy Simkin. Started 12 of Stoke's 13 championship matches in 2026. Only 4 clean sheets though in the previous 11. Stoke, we did sign Gavin Bazunu on loan from Southampton, but he was injured. 27-year-old Frank Fielding is currently the substitute goalkeeper. So the corner kick here will be taken by Jack Clark. Windy night at the Bet365. It always does seem to be windy and exceptionally cold in this stadium. Stoke have conceded 11 goals from corners this season. Clark's delivery is deep and just a fraction too high for Athol to try and get on the end off. On loan for the season from Como in Italy. Jack Clark, 18 starts and 18 substitute appearances this season in the Championship for Ipswich. Siwa battling for possession and battling too hard, giving away the free kick. That's all but one in the Championship this season as Matthew Siwa. Burns. Siwa sliding in, but it'll be picked up here by Barjuno. South Korean international works it wide. Daksaki. Chance for the shooting opportunity, and it's taken by Rigo. Save is by Walton. His first touch of the night, Christian Walton. And it's an important one as well. Rigo. Probably trying more to pass this ball into the net with the low shot. Well, that's given room for optimism for the Stoke City supporters. Phillips, in his second successive season on loan from Tottenham, Ashley Phillips. Picked up by Chamadou. Manoff's little ball trying to find Chamadou. Goalkeeper Walton gets there first. And there might be a problem here for Junior Chamadou. Walton doesn't look that comfortable either. It was a ball that was there to be won. Looking to run that off. The Cameroon international who came on as a substitute on Saturday at Swansea for his first appearance since returning from the Africa Cup of Nations, where he picked up a knee injury representing Cameroon. His first appearance for Stoke since mid-December. Taken down by Burns. Talavierov. The signing from Plymouth Argyle following their relegation from the Championship. Rigo leaves it. Chamadou. Rigo. Manoff. Might have a go here, Manoff. Again looking to place it, this time in the top corner. Nice breakaway move, and look how everybody's backing away from him in blue. Manoff. late November. But their goals really have been a problem for Stoke this season. They've scored only 18 goals in their last 22 Championship matches. And in the last 22 of all teams in the Championship, only already relegated Sheffield Wednesday have scored fewer in that time. They've had Lamine Cisse playing as the main striker. Cisse, really more of a winger. Taylor. Here's O'Shea. Kipre. Hassan allowed to turn. Flag up against him though. Offside. Against the Spanish striker. And just so. Two goals in his last 5 appearances for Ivan Athon. Ipswich have a dreadful record at this stadium. They've not won, 4 draws and 5 defeats at the hands of Stoke City. Stoke could really do with a win this evening. Went forward by Bokar. Maksaki. Seiko. Simkin. Phillips. Finds Rigo. Slovakian international. Oh, it's in behind Chamadou. From Thomas. Rigo. Switch up against Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough on Saturday. O'Shea. Here's Kipre. Can't find Athol. Just kept alive by Juno. Back goes Bokar. Bar. Here's Juno again. Finds Seiko. Rigo. Nicely done to find Chamadou. Goes back Clark with ease, and then was surely caught by Taylor. Free kick taken quickly. Here's Manoff looking to take on Davis. Manoff's ball across, gathered by Walton. Here's Mehmeti, the January transfer window signing from Bristol City, and it's Mehmeti moving into a more central role tonight, with Clark coming in on the left-hand side for the visitors. And here is Jack Clark. Loses out. Manoff. David's trying to get back goal side. Kipray. Stoke with 2 shots on target. Ipswich yet to have an effort worthy of being noted by the statisticians. Kipray. Davis. Clark. Easily cut out by Rigo, and a chance for Stoke to break again. Manuf. Raksaki on loan from Crystal Palace. Bokar on the overlap. Faced by Furlong. Got a touch off Furlong. O'Shea's header away. Stoke will get the throw. Up against Raksaki. Well, that's a very tight one. Well, they've been played onside there by Davis. Quarter of an hour gone then. Stoke City 0, Ipswich Town 0 in this EFL Championship fixture. Burns wants it on that far side. Here's Wes Burns to driving in towards goal. Well, he possibly might have been better off working this into the middle where there were plenty of blue-shirted attackers hoping to receive the ball back. So on the way through, and it'll be heading the swinging corner from the left boot of the left back, Leif Davis. Plenty forward then for Ipswich. Davis hits it long. Burns back into the middle, just away by Manuf. O'Shea wins possession back. Again, Davis delivers. Clark's header. Burns. Taylor. Davis. That got a touch on the way through as well from Leif Davis, whose 2 goals this season have both come away from home in the defeat at Oxford and the win at Derby last month. And there's the touch of Taliervierov. This time it'll be Jack Clark to take the corner from the Leeds and Sunderland player. Away by Simkin. Davis. Burns driven in. Kipray against the post. Closest we've come to a goal tonight. O'Shea should be gathered by Simkin and is. Cedric Kipray. Most unfortunate to see his effort come back off the upright. Clark. Comes off Chamadou. O'Shea. Siwa. Little touch from Taylor. Couldn't be kept alive by Davis. Kipre. Rather loose there from Seiko. Juno, Raksaki, just wide from Barjuno. They got a touch behind for the corner kick. Here's the effort at the other end from Cedric Kipre. Sinking in all sorts of trouble as he tried to get across to make a save. Corner at the other end. Rigo with it. Gathered by Walter. First choice goalkeeper in the Championship since October, Christian Walton. Taking over from Alex Palmer after he was injured against Charlton Athletic. Palmer quite simply hasn't been able to regain his place in the starting 11 in the league. O'Shea. Ipswich throw. Furlong with it. Raksaki. 2 wins and 2 draws in the last 4 meetings between these two sides. Referee not allowing Furlong to go that far forward. And the ball went out of play inside his own half. Chase on here for Athor. Ivan Athor. Can he get a shot away? Straight into the back of Clark. David got that all wrong. Promising at first though from Ivan Athor. As he looked to take on Talavierov. Clark in the way, and then at least said about effort from Davis, the better. As you know, here's Wes Burn, Welsh international. Foul there by Seiko. Kipre should use Walton, and does. A little bit of after there involving him and Smith. The push from Schmidt, and then a little leg out from Kipre. Athor. Davis. Clark. Taylor. Davis. by Phillips. Plenty of experience already in his career for Ashley Phillips. With a loan at Plymouth Argyle before his about 2 seasons on loan at Stoke. And he's still just 20 years of age. Burns finds a way past. Too high for Athon and put behind for a corner by Chamadou. Knew that Davis was waiting just behind him. Here's that little bit of afters between Kipre and Smith. Or something rather of nothing. It'll be an outswinger from Davis. Plenty of bumping and barging, as you can see. Davis delivers towards the near post. Athon was the intended recipient. Kipre's header. Once more. So unfortunate. Sandra Kipre, 3 goals this season. The Ivory Coast international. Plenty of experience of playing in the UK. Motherwell, Wigan, West Brom, a spell at Cardiff as well. Boca. Caught on the head there by Burns. Have another look. It's actually just the ball that caught him. The ball was kicked into his head by Burns. Burns, who missed virtually all of 2025 because of injury. Scored on his second appearance of the season in the 2-0 win at Coventry at the end of December. Terrific month for Ipswich was December, beating Coventry City home and away that month. By Furlong, as you know. Boca. Telovierov with the long ball forward. Kipre. Went through a gap that was rapidly closed off. He wanted a free kick, hadn't got one. Taylor wins it back. Here's and it's Mehmeti again. Looking to set Burns on his way. Across though comes Maxime Telovierov. Mehmeti. Burns. Oh, it's missed by Mehmeti. And a chance now for Mayon Manoff to break. 2 against 2 at the moment. Smith ahead of him. Not the best of balls. What was that from Kipre? Manoff. Seiko. Phillips. The foul on Phillips by Athon. Phillips, who's stayed up in the Championship for the past 2 seasons on the final day. Firstly with Plymouth Argyle and last season with Stoke. Taylor. Davis. Smith. Rico. Boca. Phillips. Chamadou. Manoff. Closed down the gap. Matusiwa, the offender. Fans feel that there might have been a justification there for a yellow card for frequent fouling from Azul Matusiwa. Go behind this free kick. We've just passed the half-hour mark then in Staffordshire. Away by Furlong, Stoke throw. So we know what's coming here. Player down in the area, referee says play on. A shot from Tatsuki Senko, a long way over. Well, they've got so many injuries and illness and suspension, Stoke City, that Mark Robbins is entitled to point that out. He made the point specifically in his TV interview pre-match that there are 5 academy players on the bench, none of whom have a single minute of Championship action. But only one of them has actually made their debut for Stoke. Chinonso Chibueze, who played in the EFL Cup back in August. Stoke throw then, Chamadou to take. Phillips. By Burns. Eventually fouled by Barcelona. Mehmeti. Taylor. Siwa. O'Shea. Clark. Just caught a little late there. Nice Seiko. From the Ipswich supporters, travelled in good numbers to cheer their team on this evening. Davis. Asson. Dispossessed by Talavierov. Man off to his right. Here he is. Manoff trying to get past Kipray. Oh, he's done so this time. Manoff against the post. Rigo, and turned in from close range. Stoke City in front through Milan Schmidt. To go until half-time. Ipswich claiming that Smith was in an offside position. But no flag was raised by the assistant. Initially won by Maxim Talavierov. And then the persistence is Manoff. Finally finds a way past Kipray. Now keep your eye on the far post. Is he offside there? Lovely play from Manoff. Shot deflected onto the post by Walton. Smith with the final touch. But Ipswich may well feel that that goal should not have stood. Milan Schmidt gets his first goal for Stoke since joining in January. On loan from Go Ahead Eagles in the Netherlands. It will become a permanent move in the summer. Taylor, who was fouled. Davis is behind this free kick. Ipswich had hit the post through Cedric Kipray, but it is Stoke who are in front. As we move towards the final passages of play in this first half. Davis. Coming in around the back with Kipray, couldn't get on the end of it though. Smith then with the goal. This angle won't necessarily show us whether it was offside or not. There was appeals for handball there, which didn't seem to have too much in the way of validity. This is the goal, this is the angle. Now, he's in an offside position there, simple as that. It's behind O'Shea. The other Ipswich defender in the goal. Doesn't count. Certainly Kieran McKenna will be discussing that opening goal at length post-match. He won't care. He's off the mark for the Potters. O'Shea shrugs off Smith, finds Clark. Davis on this near side, not going to get there though. It's away by Chamadou. Smith is down, he was injured as O'Shea left him behind. That's the reason why. That could have been costly for Ipswich. Davis with the throw. O'Shea. Mehmeti looking to release Burns on that far side. Burns with the first time ball in, away by Chamadou. Darnell Furlong has to go back. Into the last 5 minutes then, plus whatever additional time is to be played. Wonderful ball to find Davis. Mehmeti trying to spin and turn. Recovered well. And then the interception was a vital one there from Raksaki. Foul by O'Shea. Does well. Seiko. Chamadou. Caught by Clark. First booking of the night. Jack Clark is shown yellow for that rather cynical pullback on the Stoke man. Chamadou looked to race forward. Third yellow card of the season, despite having played in every championship match so far this season. Can Stoke make something from this set-piece opportunity then? Rigo to take. Rigo. It's away by Furlong. Out for a corner. Away by O'Shea. Raksaki. Rigo. Ipswich advance forward as the unit. Rigo offside. That's the goal again. Smith definitely offside. Chance for number 2 and it's taken. Barjuno from Stoke City. And just before half City. What a costly mistake that was from Jack Taylor. Ipswich have it all to do now. Stoke get the decision. Sherwood winning that tussle. Fourth official, who is Sam Allison, preparing to show us how much additional time is to be played at the end of this first half. Here's the opening goal. Smith, and he's offside. Simple as that. Ipswich will argue about the first goal, and there might be arguments amongst themselves about the second. 3 minutes. Side on the board. Fourth official. He will be steaming. Kieran McKenna. Oh, the lights have gone out. Generator is kicked in. Hold on to this lead, and Stoke will make significant progress up the Championship table. The hopes of a playoff place are slim, and as we all know, a good run in the Championship can see you accelerate up the table very quickly indeed. A thoroughly satisfactory first half for Stoke City. Milan Schmidt putting them ahead with his first goal for the club since joining them in January. Ipswich will complain that he was offside, but Ipswich will have complaints amongst themselves about the second goal. Taylor giving the ball away. Barjun-O took full advantage. Half-time, Stoke City 2, Ipswich Town 0. Welcome back to the Bet365 Stadium. Stoke City leading Ipswich Town by 2 goals to nil. Plenty for Ipswich to do then in the second half. Thomas Kirk gets the second half started. Stoke leading by 2 goals to nil. Milan Schmidt and Bas Junho with the goals for the Potters. And here is Junho again. Away by Kipre. No changes incidentally to either team in terms of half-time substitutions. But Kieran McKenna there will be expecting a significant improvement from his side in this second half. Ipswich really can't afford to lose too many more. They were a bit shell-shocked by the 5-3 defeat at Wrexham a few weeks ago, but they've come back to win 3 and draw 1 of their last 4 in the Championship. But they have ground to make up on the top 2 in the Championship table. Smith. Juno. Here's Seiko. Boca drives it in. Doesn't quite fall there for Rigo. Away goes Clark. And a chase now for Athon. Up against Chamadou. Chamadou gets the better of him, and it's a goal kick as well. Had a really good night so far tonight, Junior Chamadou. Whether 10-15 minutes into this second half, Kieran McKenna might be tempted to change things up front and put George Hurst on, the Scottish international striker. Ipswich had 64% possession incidentally in that first half compared to 36% for Stoke, but it was Stoke who made the most of things, albeit they were helped out by first goal that shouldn't have stood because of offside against Schmidt, and a second goal that was gifted to them by Jack Taylor. Taylor can't get on the end of this one. Rigo. Juno works it across to this near side. Raksaki. No way through for him. McKenna almost acting as ball boy there. Chest on towards Mehmeti from Athon. Mehmeti dispossessed. O'Shea first to the ball. Kipre finds Clark. Davis. Leaf Davis again, bit of room here for Wes Burns. Burns to drive it towards goal, it got a deflection! And that wrong-footed Tommy Timkin. And Ipswich get the start to the second half that they really wanted. It'll go down as a goal for Wes Burns. But the touch off the defender was a highly significant one. Lovely ball here to find Burns in plenty of space, but it comes off Boca, and it meant that Simpkin was going the wrong way, and although he adjusted really well, he couldn't quite adjust enough. Got a hand to it, but no more. Well, that has set us up for a fascinating second half here. Little touch off that man there, Eric Boca. Clark now for Ipswich. Again, Burns in lots of room on this near side. Couldn't be worked through to him, can it? No, it's just away. Talavera with the clearance. Look at the room at the bottom of your picture there for Wes Burns. He almost got that. It'd be an in-swinging corner then from Leif Davis. Just wide. Burns with it. Just pulling away here to create a little bit of space for himself. There's a defender on the post though. Seiko. Would have cleared that one away had it been on target. Wes Burns getting his second goal of the season for Ipswich. Season that didn't start until the day after Christmas. We've been out since January of last year. The Republic of Ireland international, like Burns, another who will be eagerly anticipating the World Cup playoff matches to come at the end of this month. Here come Ipswich again. Davis drives it across towards Clark. Dispossessed this time by Phillips. Interception from Ashley Phillips. Can his side go on and get another goal? Scored by Rigo. And he will take the throw and responsibility again. Not too much in the way of options for him though. As you know, Chamadou comes off Clark. Jack Clark, incidentally the only player to be booked so far tonight. Boca. Raksaki on its near side. Blocked by Mehmeti. Boca can't retain possession. Mehmeti fouled by Boca. Davis. Slips in the way. Rigo. Talavera looking for Smith. Picked up by Furlong. Simpkins' clearance is met though by Taylor. Sessions for Smith. Walton is there first. All the way through to his opposite number, Tommy Simpkin. Clark, the little flick, not a good one, far as you know. Manoff, it's away though by Kipre. Clark. Siwa. Here's Furlong. Burns. Mehmeti. Davis. Nicely done. Taylor goes for goal. Pushed away by Simpkin. Burns. Away by Rigo. Didn't look to be too much on with that shot, but Simpkin had to make the save. Rigo should be cleared now. Chamadou doesn't get it away though. Clark. Mehmeti. Can he work it out to Burns? He can. First time from Burns. The little header down. Siwa being urged to shoot. Can't satisfy the desires of the Ipswich fans behind that goal. Jack Taylor's shot just dipping there. Simpkin electing to push that one away. Taylor, who will be especially keen to turn things around for his team tonight, having been responsible for the error that led to Stoke's second goal just before half-time. Away by Siwa. Surely offside. Indeed it is, against Athon. Scoreline is a bit of a improvement for Stoke against the teams who are in the top four at the start of the day. They lost 5 of their 6 championship matches against teams in the top 4 at the start of the day. The only point against the top 4 team, goalless draw at Middlesbrough. This is much better from Stoke City, although they're going to face a very tough task in the rest of this match. Ipswich certainly are hungry for more goals. That's going to be a yellow card. Taylor. Joins Clark in the book. Perhaps a touch fortunate as well. He didn't make full contact there. Then for Taylor, just before the hour mark. That was a waste. Wouldn't be that surprised to see Ipswich changes in the next 5 minutes or so. Kipre. Furlong. O'Shea. Here's Kipre. Forward by Mehmeti. The touch on towards goal by Athon. He was always stretching and couldn't really get the power on it that he wanted. Terrific ball through though from Mehmeti. bang it in. Along Kipre, 5-man off. An hour played then. Stoke leading Ipswich by 2-1. Held up well by Athol Clark. Drives it across. Has he got too much on it? He has. It's going to skip away from Wes Burns. Unfortunate touch there off Boca. Didn't know anything about it. Left Simpkin rather stranded. Rigo, Taylor, Clark, Jack Clark, pushed away by Simpkin. Jack Clark, 12 goals this season for Ipswich. It's on target. Ipswich corner. Across to take it himself. 7 appearances without a goal for Clark. Now he hopes to provide one for his teammates. To Siwa. Forward towards Hunt. Towards Burns rather on this near side. Wasted. Simpkin taking his time. Siwa's header. O'Shea. Let's get himself out of an awkward scenario there. Clark. Just away by Boca. Burns. Furlong on the overlap. Easily away by Televiero. Throw from Darnell Furlong. Chance for the volley. Taylor! Jack Taylor makes up for his error in the first half. And Ipswich, having been 2-0 down at half-time, are level at 2-2. Furlong's long throw fell very nicely indeed for Taylor. And the bounce just there made it very awkward indeed for Tommy Simpkin. Jack Taylor gets his second goal of the season. Hasn't scored for a year since when he got his goal in the 3-0 win at home to Blackburn back in January. He will be feeling an awful lot better about himself. His error. Poor back pass led to Stoke's second goal. Kept it by Walton. Foul on Seiko. Just got away with that. Bit of space here for Eric Bokar. Like Saki ahead of him. Here he is. Cleared away by Matusiwa. Mameti. Well, he thought that Clark had made more progress than he actually had. Chamadou. Rigo. Rigo trying to whack it into the path of Smith. Rigo again. Matusiwa just did enough. Chase on here for Burns, up against Bokar. Bokar gets there first. Frenchman hoping for a little bit more assistance there. Well, he doesn't have too many options on the bench, Mark Robbins. 5 academy players. The defender in Ben Gibson, a midfielder in the vastly experienced Stephen Nzonzi, and a striker in Lamine Cissé. Manoff. Chamadou making the run ahead of him. Manoff. Now does find Chamadou, who's offside. Kicks that ball away in frustration. There was the pass. Manoff didn't make it. Clearly offside. O'Shea. Bokar underneath it. Challenging with Burns. Well, it looked like it came off the Stoke man last of all, but the throw has gone the way off the home team. Changes. First of the night. And it'll be Ipswich Town to withdraw. Ivan Asson. George Hurst comes on in his place. Taylor has withdrawn. Jens Kayuste coming on for him. So a change in midfield and a change in attack. Stoke do not want another injury problem. Change for Stoke. Along comes Sid Agina. Ben Gibson also coming on. Boca and Chavadu are withdrawn, so the two fullbacks have come off. Chavadu still working his way back to full fitness following his injury at the Africa Cup of Nations. Away by Simkin. Kept in? No, it wasn't. 18-year-old, Sidogina, the midfielder who's been asked to play on the right side of defence, has been an unused substitute for the Potters, but this is first taste of first team action. Burns hauled down off the ball. Ipswich fans felt there was a free kick to be given their way. Not so sure that Burns was in full agreement with them. He didn't really appeal at all. Bajuno. Works it across to that far side. Agina. Lofted into the middle, just away by O'Shea. Burns. Rigo. Seiko. Oh, poor from him. Interception from David. He's lost out though. Agina. Manu. Deflected behind. Stoke corner. Sidogina. Involved very early on. Manuf wanted it played into his part and put behind by Kipre. We can hear the shouts from the Ipswich technical area. Look out for number 23, which is Ben Gibson, the recently introduced, very experienced defender. Over 400 career appearances. There he is. Curling in towards goal and almost in. Punched away by Walton. And then Ipswich were a bit fortunate in that it hit an outfield player and went behind for the corner kick. Darnell Furlong couldn't do anything about that. Walton had to react very quickly. Oh, not so good this time. Clark gets it away. That first corner, though, was absolutely outstanding. Thank you. Madoff. Nicely done. Bajuno still going. Cross the face of goal and somehow put over. Ashley Phillips from close range with a great opportunity to make it 3-2. What a chance for Stoke. Just too high for Schmidt. Phillips might well have seen it late. Not scored for Stoke this season. What an opportunity for him to do so. Another change for Ipswich then. Where's Burns? Is off. And Casey McAteer comes on in his place. Stoke win it back. Bit of space on that far side. Two in the middle. Passed away by O'Shea. Seiko. Here's Gibson. Decent ball into the middle. Ipswich get the free kick. And the chance for a bit of respite from a good period of Stoke pressure. Quarter of an hour remaining, plus whatever additional time is to be played. Is it going to be 2 points dropped by Ipswich in chase for an automatic promotion place come the end of the season? Furlong trying to find a way through. McAteer almost won it back. Corner kick though. Won by Casey McAteer. Offside. The inside of his calf there. Davis to take. I'm not even sure any of that is overhanging the corner quadrant. The assistant is right there. Too deep. Hurst couldn't do anything with it. Scored 17 goals in the last quarter of an hour of games, more than any other team in the Championship this season. Are they going to increase that number this evening? Well, Phillips has come closest to making it a 5th goal of the night. Manoff. McAteer. We've given it away. Agina. Rigo. Manoff. Still going, Manoff. Clark. Just pulled away by the Stoke man. Jack Clark was expecting that. Furlong. Stepped away there from Mameti. Gina. Simpkins. Offside. Flag up on the far side. Little touch from Clark. Hurst. Matthew Siwa. Mametti can try again. Finds McAteer. McAteer's ball across is deep, arriving late with the effort with Leif Davis. Defender in the way and behind for an Ipswich corner. Look at Davis there at the top of your picture. Nobody really knows he's there. Gina got back well, although he didn't really know too much about it. Cannoned into his stomach. Into the last 10 minutes. Clark with the corner. Headed down by McAteer. It's another corner. Casey McAteer, who won the championship title with Leicester City a couple of years ago. Joined Ipswich from Leicester. Start of the season. Booked away there by Phillips. Clark across into this near side. Clark's delivery curling outwards. Dribble back in. Vierov is there. Rigo as well. Davis. Clark. Now a chance perhaps for Stoke to break. Montesiwa standing firm. Kimpray drives it through. It's George Hurst! Ipswich have turned it around. And it is the substitute, George Hurst. A huge, huge goal in the context of Ipswich's season. It's his 9th goal of the season. Won firstly by Montesiwa. The ball through to Hurst. He's clearly onside. Played onside by Phillips. Terrific challenge there. But this was a beautiful ball through from Cedric Kimpray. And Hurst did the rest. Simpkin might feel he could have done a little better there. What a turnaround from Ipswich Town. George Hurst scored in wins last month against Watford and Swansea. As he now scored the winning goal tonight. Bay is off. Lamine Cisse is on. Can Cisse's presence help Stoke now to an equaliser? Behind for the first time tonight, the Potters. By Kimpray. Strong challenge from McAteer on Gibson. Vierov is fouled. Ipswich fans will no doubt have checked the other scores tonight. Millwall have won. Hull City have beaten Wrexham. So it's imperative really for Ipswich to return home to Suffolk with all 3 points from this game. And that is exactly what they are doing at the moment as they prepare to make more changes. Just over 5 minutes, plus additional time remaining. Manoff with the free kick. Mametti. Gina. Manoff. Further changes then for Ipswich. There is Ben Johnson, who is about to make his 150th senior career appearance, and he will come on for Jack Clark for the last few minutes. Johnson a defender. And the other change will see Dan Neil come on in midfield in place of Matthew Siwa. Johnson and Neil are on for the last few minutes. Comes up first. Raksaki trying to find a way past Davis. Raksaki into the middle, way off the heels really of O'Shea. Who's going to get there first? Gibson does. Headed up by Talavieros. Manoff. Surely pushed there. He was by Mametti. Ipswich doing all they can to just break up play. Manoff to take that. With the touch, and that's behind, corner kick. Cross comes Tomas Rigo. Takes it short, Cisse. Seiko. Wait. And Ipswich will now take their time over restarting play. Well, if it stays like this, Ipswich will remain in 4th place. They'll be a point behind Millwall. Millwall on 68 points from 37. Ipswich on 67 points, though, from 36. And Hull City behind them in 5th on 63 points. They'll be just 2 points behind Middlesbrough, having played the same number of matches. Borough in action tomorrow. Rigo's not going to get there. Hurst. Johnson makes the run ahead of him. Hurst. Tries to just waste a bit of time there. Away by Seiko. O'Shea will let it run. Ipswich have never won at this stadium in 9 previous visits. Their last win at Stoke was back at the old Victoria ground in March of 1997. when Stoke were in the Premier League. The two didn't meet. How much additional time we're going to have, Sam Allison will show us in just a moment or so. And there is to be, added on to the 90, a minimum of 5 minutes. Too much for some. You can understand it from the little one. You need that blanket, by the way, at Stoke, even in August. Renowned on the football circuit as one of the coldest grounds in the country. Gibson will take this throw. Oh, it's an off-the-ball incident now. That's going to be a yellow card for Mehmeti. And it's Mehmeti has shown yellow in additional time. Fans were outraged that he was sold to a championship rival. Bristol City's season really has taken a nosedive in recent weeks. Gibson, Manov, dispossessed though by Neil, foul on Mehmeti, Ipswich free kick, that'll do as far as they are concerned. Forward towards Hurst. Rather snatched at his shot. Well, that was a chance to secure all 3 points. The Ipswich fans in the corner, way over on the far side to the right. Hoping that they will be, in just a few moments, celebrating an away win for their team. It will be their 7th away victory of the season in the league. QPR, Swansea, Hull, Coventry, Derby and Watford in their last away match. Oh, an air kick there from Furlong. Is that a penalty kick? It is! Lamine Cisse falls down in the penalty area. Will have the chance to make it 3-3 in the last minute of additional time. Missed kick from Furlong. And then it was Kipre who had his arm on Cisse. Kayuste also with his arm out. Was it a combination of both of them? Referee had a good view. Thomas Kirk said penalty kick. colours of Stoke City. With the chance to earn them a point. Smith, and he's taken it in some style as well. 6 goals tonight. And it's a point apiece, surely. Ipswich can't believe it. 2-0 down at half-time. Ipswich had turned it around. But Stoke, in the final action of the evening, have earned themselves a point. Walton goes the right way, but it's a firmly struck low penalty from the Dutchman. It's a big, big blow to Ipswich's hopes of automatic promotion. Stoke City 3, Ipswich Town 3. Away by Seiko. Last moments of play. Johnson can't find a way through. Ipswich throw. We're into time, added on to the minimum of 5 minutes. The long, long throw towards Kipre. Rigo underneath it. Chance for the shot, and it's gone wide from Dara Rocher. And that's it. What a pulsating night of championship action at the Bet365 Stadium. And Ipswich have still never won here in 10 visits. Stoke 2-0 up at half-time. Ipswich turned it around. Back to 2-2. George Hurst thought he'd scored the winning goal. But then Milan Smith with that late penalty following the foul from Kipre. And Ipswich failed to get maximum points. What a game. Stoke City 3, Ipswich Town 3. Championship. Stoke with only one win in their last 10 in the league. And they took the lead through Milan Schmidt 10 minutes before half-time. The Dutch striker getting his first goal for Stoke City. Ipswich felt, though, that he was in an offside position. And the replays certainly backed that up. Excellent work from Stoke, though, to win it back. Televianov finding Mayon Manov. But keep your eye on the tall striker in the middle. And as the ball is played back by Rigo there, Smith appears to be in an offside position. So that was 1-0 to Stoke with 10 minutes to go until half-time. And then just before the break, Ipswich were architects of their own downfall. A poor pass here from Jack Taylor. And Arjunot took full advantage to double the Potters' lead. And it was looking very good for Stoke City at this stage. Completely the opposite for promotion chasing Ipswich Town. Into the second half then. And Ipswich made a terrific start. Wes Burns saw his shot deflect off Eric Bokar. And the deflection, rather wrong-footed Tommy Simkin in the Stoke goal. You can see here plenty of room for Burns at the bottom of your picture. But that deflection, Simkin was going one way, and then suddenly the ball was going the other way. Just the start then that Ipswich will have wanted to the second half. And it got even better for them when Jack Taylor equalised. Taylor, who'd given away really the goal. Stoke's second goal at the end of the first half. They would have placed that past Simkin. And from 2-0 down, Ipswich are now level at 2-2. Ipswich were able to make changes from the bench, unlike Stoke, who had 5 academy graduates on the bench. And one of the substitutes, George Hurst, scored after 82 minutes to complete what Ipswich must have thought was a remarkable turnaround. From 2-0 down, they now led by 3 goals to 2. Hurst getting his 9th goal of the season. Lovely pass here from Cedric Kipre. Receiver with the initial interception. And Hurst able to place it past Simkin, who might well feel he should have done a little better with it. So Ipswich were heading for victory. Oh, that's what they thought. Deep into additional time. Foul on Limane Cissé by Kipre. Referee Thomas Kirk said penalty kick. Kipre, who only moments earlier had been named player of the match. And Milan Schmidt with a powerful penalty past Christian Walton. And Stoke deservedly getting a point. It finished 3-3 in a pulsating match.